start?
So for our pathology, we have Hoffa's. So to start off, we'd have the athlete do clinician stretching. So the athlete would lay on her back.
So you feel stretch? Right there. Okay, push against me.
Progression.
Relax.
So the progression for this would be PNF stretching, where the clinician would put the athlete into the fullest range of motion they could.
So full stretch.
Yep.
And then push against me. Relax.
The athlete would push against them for a
Push
2
against
second hold.
Relax. Yes.
Then from there, we have the athlete do straight leg raises, focusing on the injured side.
Okay. Let's go
With this
straight up.
exercise, you want to make sure that the athlete is engaging their quadriceps, their glutes, and hip flexors
So you don't want to squeeze.
throughout the entire range of motion and going as far as they can.
Keep it controlled.
To progress this exercise, you could have the athlete do a hold at the top, do a 2 second hold at the top. And to further progress, you can have the athlete put on an ankle weight and have them go through a straight leg raise.
So we're just gonna start out with a low weight. Go ahead. Good.
For our next exercise, we'd have the athlete do wall slides.
Go
Now,
ahead.
the athlete would go as far as their pain left arm to start off.
Oh, you alright?
So the athlete would keep their foot flat against the wall and go through and slide their foot up and down as far as they're pain-free. The progression for this is trying to get the athlete to the point where they can go through a full pain-free range of motion. All right, our next exercise are step-ups. So for step-ups, we want to start them on a small box, have them keep 1 foot on top of the box, their injured leg,
Injured leg.
and just have them step up and try and keep all the weight on the injured side and just touch their toe to the ground and to the top of the box. For a progression on this, we could give them a bigger box. And again, focusing on keeping the weight on the injured side and keeping control throughout the exercise. Our next exercise would be monster walks, with keeping a band between their legs. The athlete will maintain athletic position
Wow, this is.
throughout the entire exercise.
So forward and back. Make sure you keep your knees out. And go ahead and go back.
So then for the progression, it would be through all directions, so they would go lateral as well as front and back. Then our next exercises, we would have them, for progression for that, we'd also could add a heavier resistance band. Our next exercise would be lunges. Now, to start, the athlete will go through as far of a lunge as they can while maintaining pain-free exercise. To progress that, we could get them to a full depth of a lunge. And then the next progression of that would be scissors. So the athlete would stay in one spot and hop into the other leg. So switching positions. Our next exercise would be squats. We could have them start by doing regular squats, just to get through, make sure that they can go through a full pain-free range of motion. Then our next progression is to give them have the athlete do a squat on an Eric's pad.
Anticipating it would be bigger.
Yeah. Anticipating an
You
actual
could do this
Eric's
for
pad.
the suit ball as well.
Go team,
That would probably be a little bit.
go team, but like squat.
You're gonna have to really keep your knees out.
I feel like that's not.
Again, anticipating we have an actual air expand. Then for a further progression, we could hand them the weighted ball.
Give me ball.
It's a heavy one. All the way down. There you go.
And then the final progression is just a squat and hold at the bottom of the ball.
That was terrible form.
Alright, and then our next exercise, we'd have the athlete do steamboats with the resistance band tied around the involved leg.
So this would be an Eric's pad, but we're using a dynamite.
We're gonna start with them just on the ground and go through regular. Again, the focus of this is strengthening and making sure that the athlete can go through pain-free range of motion. For a progression for that, after they go through the entire steamboat exercise, we could add an RX pad to it. So they would stand on the RX pad with their uninvolved leg
So that one. There you go.
and go through the steamboat exercises.
You got it.
Ooh. Okay.
There you go.
Alright, the idea is there.
Yeah.
Can I touch down?
No, you gotta keep it up. So just.
Okay. Alright.
Alright, for our next exercise, we'd have the athlete do squat jumps. So
Oh, yeah,
throughout the
squat.
entire thing, we want to make sure that the athlete is maintaining proper form and is still pain-free. A progression for that, we can have them do box jumps, so with a smaller box. Start smaller box to make sure that they have the form down and that the athlete is comfortable with the exercise. And just have them step down after. And then a further progression, we can have the increase the height of the box.
They're like kind of small platforms.
Yeah. There you go.
For our final exercise, we'd have our athlete do ladder drills.
Same, like,
So we would start with the athlete with 2 feet in each box. Then you could progress to doing lateral 2 feet in. And then have the athlete moving lateral, spacing towards the ladder with 2 feet in. And that's all our exercises.